They just know we've been here. Hey guys, it's good to see everybody today. We're just talking about Germany and having fun over there and whatnot, and
Yes, a bit of
some getting in
reminiscing.
trouble. Some getting in trouble. Not me. I wasn't in trouble. I had a good time, but I was not in trouble. Bought a
Unless
pair of
somebody
shoes.
recorded that conversation, I'm going to deny it too. So,
I don't know anything about. I know nothing. Some of you know what that refers to.
Hogan's
Um,
Heroes.
yeah, I did that the other day, and everybody looked at me like, "Huh?" They were all younger than me. They didn't know Hogan's Heroes. Anyhow, gonna have a little fun today. I collected. Oh, let me say this. There's Wayne. There's Todd. They're gonna be helping us out in the chat today. So I'm gonna put these guys in the background. There we go. And now I can show you what we're doing. I collected a bunch of these. Church was closing its doors, and we were going through things and kind of divvying up things that people might want to take with them. And I found these. Nobody wanted them. They didn't even know what they were for. I think I've got 6 of them or so. I've got two. I've got 4 left, so I've used a couple of them. Anyway, they are hard maple. Um, they they can be thrown across a room and they won't get hurt. I've got one on the lathe. We're going to have some fun with it. Going to turn a jug. It's kind of in a jug shape already, kind of a milk jug shape. Kind of an interesting shape. Not sure what it was for, but anyway, we're going to turn kind of a water jug kind of a shape and see if we can't put a little kilter on it. So anyway, I'm going to get started. I've already got it in the lathe. I'm going to get started, kind of cleaning it up and getting a tenon on it. And these guys are going to tell us who all's in the chat. So let's get at it.
Okay, let's go. Right, so first in was Alex Wurzel, and then Weeval from Littleville has come in. Paul Hunter is in. Todd of Glen Cove is here. Mike Evans. I'm still going down. This will start jumping a bit in a minute, no doubt. Mike, you're from Ilminster, is in. Dale's in. Evening, Dale. Malcolm
Which deal? Oh, Old Man
Douglas.
River. Okay.
Yeah, Old Man River, that deal. Yeah.
I've been seeing Maple Tree here show up here lately in a couple of chats.
Rob's in from Copper Owl. Al's here. Evening, Al. Oh, good afternoon. Anthony Green is in. Mike's in. Dances with Aardvarks. I'm still going down. Brian's in from Hartwood Turner. Evening, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Has Glyn arrived yet? Bert's Balls is here.
Thomas Kenny, did we?
I don't think I'm that far down yet, Todd, tell you the truth.
Oh. Mine jumped too.
Oh, yeah, I must have missed Thomas Kenny. Because I am down at the bottom now.
Birch Bowls.
Yeah, I got Bert's Balls.
Okay, yeah. I don't see anybody you missed. If we missed you, chime in. Anthony Green, did we mention him?
Yeah, I got Anthony. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry if I missed anybody, but put something in the chat and I'll get you. Oh.
Folks that haven't done earworming before may not realize how every once in a while that chat will just jump all of a sudden, and it can really throw you off.
Now Mike is asking how it's chucked. It's between centers, Mike.
Yes. It was pretty round already. These were hand turned. Well, I assume they were hand turned. There's center marks on both ends.
And Ronald Todd's just come in as well.
That piece looked pretty good when you were holding it up. All I saw was a little bit of chip out and stuff around the lip.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I may have gone too far, but that's okay. And I don't know if I'm going to continue to use this skew. It's this maple. I'm assuming it's maple. It's really hard, really dense, and I don't know. It's not cutting real well with the skew, but that's okay. It's one of the. This is one of those deals where I can just kind of have a play, and uh, if something goes awry, that's okay. But I don't think it will. I think it's going to be a okay. I told you I'm going to see if I can't make this go a little bit awry. Um, One of the things I thought, well, when I first saw the project or thought of the project, well, I guess I saw it. I thought, well, I'll make this little jug and I'll take it to the disc sander and sand it off on an angle. That's easy enough to do. We can all do that pretty much. But we're wood turners, not wood sanders. So I'll see if I can't figure out another way to do it. I think I've got it in my head at least.
Good.
I'll put a little cut line here.
And Todd Glencover said, no flying objects today.
That's the hope. That's the hope.
That's all part of the fun.
Sometimes. That's not the tool I wanted. I've got 3 red handle tools, and I'll invariably pick up the wrong one. And I've done it twice. Nope, I had it right the first time. 1/2 inch spindle gouge. Let's lower that tool rest just a touch. Had it up fairly high for my skew.
Right, Brian has said that Glyn and Joe have arrived safely. They've just gone back to the B&B after we had a couple of drinks with the barbecue cooked by his own fair hands. He said Glyn was very tired after 2 early starts in a row.
Very good.
And Ronald is saying, Doug, no water in the basement?
No. Here in Kentucky, we did get a whole lot of rain, a lot of local flooding. I got none. I mean, I got rain. I got no flooding whatsoever. Not even close.
And Haley's come in. Good evening, Haley. I've got, remember we were talking about that spalted beach last night on 360? Well, I've got a piece here to show you later on.
Don't let me forget that, Wayne. I'll spotlight you there. And then again, you may not want everybody to see it.
Oh, I don't mind, because there's only me going to have it.
Thief in the middle of the night, they come to visit.
And Dale has said, you know that when you're doing a live or a video, something will go wrong.
It does every once in a while. There on Worldwide Woodturners, we started calling it demoitis. Holy cow, what in the world?
And Heather's just come in.
Hey, Heather. This maple is so stinking hard.
And Roger Kent's just come in as well.
Hey, Roger. There we go. That should clean up real nice. Hard as this wood is. Now, what can we do about
And
a neck?
Mike has said he's hoping he's going to be turning some paper this week after getting what looks like a working recipe for the pulp.
Okay.
That'll be something different.
I think.
And Doug Bennett's just come in.
I'm
Hey,
intrigued.
Doug. Who was it? There was somebody I watched this morning that did a. There was a multi-layered. They had plywood, 2 or 3 layers of plywood that formed half of their blank, and for the rest of the blank, they layered up construction paper with resin, and that made the other half. Then they cut. Once that was all set up, they cut it all into much thinner blocks and re-glued it all together. And that was a neat project, very neat project. But there again, using paper as part of the blank.
And Mike said the plan is to be able to decorate it using metallic watercolor, and I'm going to pronounce this totally wrong. Gouache. That's Gouache.
Hmm. It will be an interesting one. You know, people talk about hardwood every once in a while, and you think, oh, I've turned that. It's not so bad. Next time somebody talks about hard maple, I'm going to say, oh, I understand that. My goodness. I've turned some hardwoods before, but I've never turned anything as hard as these are. And I kind of forgot until I started returning this one how hard it is.
And the Vineyard Farmhouse has just come in.
Hey, how you doing, Brian?
And Brian at Hartwood has put in its gouache. Well, I don't know if that's right as well, because he's got 1, 2, 3, 4
I think
O's in there.
Gouache.
Gouache.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I've turned for concrete before. This is harder.
I'm
Almost got
expecting
it
to
where I
see
want.
it just shine from where that skew is burnishing the wood, right? It's so hard it'll just look like it's finished already.
It might. I can't get around this curve on this lower end. Well, if I don't quit sticking the toe of that skew in there, I'll never get it done. Let's go to my tried and true tool.
How high is your tool rest when you're using that skew?
It's lower than most people would use it. Um,
Dewey Shed's just come in. Evening, Dewey.
hey, Dewey. There we go. Well, it was for a second. Got a bit of curve on it now. Is what I was after. Ooh, I still got a bad spot right in the middle there, right there.
Is that from catching that skew a little bit?
Yeah, yeah. Getting better, still there. Go ahead and stop so I can, maybe you can see it.
Oh,
Almost see it right there.
yeah, we
Yeah,
see it.
Just a little
I
pulled
wouldn't.
out grain.
I wouldn't worry about getting catches with this with a skew. Kid got a few last night.
Oh, I'm not worried about it, Wayne. I never worry about catching with a skew. I am by no means an expert. In fact, you mentioned Cade. He's probably given me the advice that has gotten me to where I am with the skew. Before he was helping me a little bit, I was kind of like a lot of other people. Skew is great for opening tins.
And Gav said he has just come in. Evening, Gav.
Hey, Gav.
And Dewey Shedder said the Axminster store in Wales is closing down, so he bought a Proxon and an Arbortech disc for it as they had discounts. Very good. I take it that's the long neck grinder you're talking about, Dewey.
Yeah, this is a crazy piece of wood. I don't think I've ever had wood that you literally have to stick the edge into the wood to get it to cut.
I used to have the Proxon long neck grinder, and then in a raffle I won the Arbortech mini grinder. So I gave my Proxon away to Mark, the gentleman wood turner. If you can, Dewey, see if you can buy a manpower cutter for the Proxon, because they work absolutely fantastic.
Isn't manpower, that's the Sir Lancelot bits, isn't it?
I think it is, yeah. Give me a couple of minutes. If you take over the chat, Todd, I'll just see if I can find it.
Yeah. Dance with the Aardvarks had said he wished they'd open an Axminster near him and then close it down. I was chuckling a while ago when I read that. It was a ways up.
All right, there's still, well, I don't think it's, I think I got all the catch marks out. It's just lumps in the wood from my turning. Yeah, I can take them out with a shear scrape.
You getting actual shavings off that shear cut, or is it just dusted so hard?
Um, they're little tiny shavings. There is some dust, yes, but I am getting some little tiny shavings.
The Vineyard Farmhouse says he came in a little late, wanting an explanation, or for the explanation of what we're making.
Okay, it's going to be it's going to be a water jug kind of a shape, but it's off kilter a little bit, and I'm not going to just sand the bottom. I want to turn it. So I haven't thought totally through, and I may have messed myself up already. No, no, no. Well, maybe. Okay, I know how to do it. I know how to do what I want to do. Well, I know how I'm going to do what I want to do. We're pretty. In fact, before I take that off, let's go ahead and sand that.
Yeah, as of
Turn
right
that.
now, it looks pretty standard spindle work,
Exactly, exactly.
but that'll
Straight up,
change.
straight up sand spindle work at this point. And really, my original thought was this is what I was going to do. I'd turn it like this, take it over to my big disc sander, and real quickly sand off just a little flat spot. But then I thought, no, I want to do this as a, I want to be a real turner. And so I want to do it as a turner would do it. And I kind of thought about it a little while. I think I've got a plan in my head. Famous last words. In fact, I need to round this bottom just a little bit more. So I might as well do that. I'm not going to be able to come back to it once I go angular on it. Speed it back up. I was turning earlier at 1800 RPMs. So yeah, it's starting to look
No,
more better.
I'm not having any luck finding that.
Um,
I know I got mine from the UK. I can't remember where I got it from.
I wonder what would happen if you just Google Lancelot cutters.
I don't think they are Lancelot.
May not be. May not be.
No, because Manpower do loads and loads of different stuff under
Yeah.
their own name. Mike has said it feels like all turning stuff in the UK is migrating to the southwest. Well, Axminster originally come from the southwest, from Axminster. And the reason that they're closing the stores is to do with insurance things and where their stores are actually based.
A Google search finds the King Arthur Tools patented Lancelot 14-tooth circular saw blade carving disc.
No, that's the if I remember rightly, the Lancelot, is that not the chainsaw disc?
It does look like a chainsaw disc without.
Yeah. If
going
anybody
into
is
it.
looking at one of them, don't get it.
But I'd hate to think that stuff flew off there.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you though?
it's a pretty dangerous piece of machinery, that is.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, King Arthur, not Manpower. That makes all the sense in the world.
I don't know if Todd mentioned him, but Tim Ponder's in.
Hey, Tim.
Yeah, Haley said she looked for some 2-inch Manpower cutting discs, but could only find them from Klingspro in the US. You can actually buy them from Manpower in the US, but I'm sure I got mine from Amazon in the UK. But I've just had a look on there, and they are saying they are currently unavailable.
That does a lot of good, doesn't it?
Yeah. Now the thing is with what I can't remember who it was now. I think it was Dewey. with the Proxon and the Arbitech blade. The Arbitech blade's very good anyway. It's just that I find with the manpower, and it's 3 carbide cupped cutters that's on there. With the manpower, you can actually be very delicate with it. You can also be very heavy with it as well and take lots and lots of wood away, but you can be very delicate with it as well.
Yeah, I've thought a couple of times. I've looked up to get one of those tools, and they're a little pricey. They do a phenomenal job. I'd love to have one. Um, and every time I get a little money, it seems like there's a little something else that I need to get into a little more urgently. So that's always been an issue. But I wondered if a um, handheld air-driven die grinder wouldn't work just as well.
It all depends on the size of your compressor. What I've found with them using a die grinder is that the fine when you switch them on, as soon as they touch the wood, they slow down horrendously.
Right. Yeah, I've got a larger compressor, 21 gallon. Um, it does pretty well. The little one that's underneath my lathe that's so quiet, um, it would have a hard time keeping up, I imagine.
Oh,
This
Lucy's just come
3 gallon.
in. Lucy.
Hey, sweet potato.
And I have no experience using those cutters, but to what Wayne was saying there, it seems like if that cutter speed slowed down, it would be really difficult then to have a consistent pattern.
I
Yeah.
would think. Yeah.
Right.
No, I don't know. I don't know if anybody's watched any of my lives when I've been doing this and using the Arbitech mini carver. But you can get consistent patterns, but you can also get inconsistent patterns depending on how high you have the cutter, what angle you have the
Right.
cutter. I'll do one.
I've watched you. You'll do one. When will that be, Wayne?
Okay, big announcement. I am planning on the beginning of May. Now, it's not
All
going to be the
right.
first. It's not going to be the 1st of May because that's a Thursday and Brian will be on. It'll not be the 2nd of May because that's a Friday and Steve will be on. So it's either going to be the 30th of April, which is a Wednesday, or the 3rd of May, which is a Saturday.
I wish we had the like laugh track and all that stuff so we could do the applause track right now.
There you go.
Right? People have been waiting for that.
Absolutely. All right. Let's see if I can't get some of this junk off of my screen. There we go. All right.
Now, I was actually planning on doing one of the textured pattern pieces, but it all depends on because all my spray paints and everything have just been sitting in the workshop for the last year doing nothing. But Haley did want me to do a string pull. So I may well do a string pull wall hanging. No, Lucy, I'm not going to do the ring. I'm going to leave that for later on in the year.
I just thought I know I tightened that, but I want to make sure. I do not want this flying out just now, even though it would not surprise me. 375, 475, 625. Let's back it off.
Oh, thank you, Haley.
Okay, 575. That's where we're going to leave it. And for this task, let's go with the bowl gouge. Like
Thank
so
you,
many
Lucy.
other
And thank you, Brian, as well.
off-center kind of things, I'm watching the horizon. I'm not looking where my tool is at all. I'm looking over here on this side. And I've probably got more than enough. That cut there just made things nice and smooth. This is my one opportunity to do a little bit of sanding, at least under power. Got one little
You know,
place up here at the top of the cut that I'll have to hand sand. But other than that,
Lucy's not having a lot of luck with the kids. The second child now has spots.
yes, I saw that, Lucy. So when's Andy going to give them to the kids? Sorry.
Dewey has asked me, have I cleaned the workshop? I'm in the process of doing that now. And no, we haven't had any floods at all. It's been in the field and in the garden, but it hasn't reached the workshop or the house. Ronald
Right.
Todd has said that Harbour Freight sells a Manpar style carving disc that works really great. Yeah, the thing is, Ronald, we don't have Harbour Freight over here.
Right. Let's see. What am I done here? I've got my sandpaper all messed up.
We've had a lot of new Harbor Freight stores open in the Dallas Fort Worth area in the last few years. And it seems like Harbor Freight has upped their game a little bit on their tools.
They really have.
Yeah.
They really have. Somebody was asking me just recently about my dust collector, and I've got the old model, the Central Machinery model, and it works great. But the new one is really supposed to be nice. All the reviews so far have been excellent. So I'm going to upgrade mine a little bit and do some retrofitting.
Hey, Chris Charlton's just come in. Evening, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
And Thomas Kenny has said Manpar has round, square, and triangle cutters, 1/8 and 1/4 shank, very similar to rotary chisel cutters.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah, because I've got some of the rotary chisel cutters. I think it was a few years ago. A couple of guys I know went across to the EAW symposium and brought me some cutters back.
Mm-hmm. All right. This is gonna do what I want to, I think. I got a little high on my corner cut here. I should have gone down a little further, but this is gonna be okay, I think. I did think I was going to have to talk with the good folks at the Harbor Freight about a chop saw. Mine's got a problem. I think it's a minor problem, but it's working for now. I was I was doing some prep work with some blanks the other day, and made a cut, turned it off, got it ready for the next cut, and it would not come on. It was dead as a doornail. I thought, oh, it's gone. Turns out it was the power strip that I've got it plugged into. Tripped the tripped the switch. But I do think it's going out. I know one time it let some smoke out, so it's only got a limited amount of smoke to let out.
Right? Once you let that smoke out, the rest of it just fails.
Yeah, it didn't take long. All right, we're going to put it back between centers. So far, so good. I haven't let it fly yet. Yet. Keyword yet.
And Rob has said the Bauer tools seem okay.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know that brand either.
That's a Harbor Freight brand now, right?
Yes, it's
All
their
right,
brand.
okay.
Yes. They've got several names, and that's just one of them. It used to be Central Machinery was everything they had. Now they've got Bauer, they've got Icon, uh, Atlas is one of their names. There's another one that I'm missing. Oh, I know what I need to do yet. I need to get a hole in here.
Pennsylvania or Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yes.
Pittsburgh.
That was all their air tools was Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Well, they had Centrum Pneumatic as well.
I don't remember the name on their tool chest, but I bought a tool chest from them a couple of years ago that was new and improved.
Again, they've got several.
Yeah.
Icon is just one of them. But...
Now, Chris Charlton has said, if I may offer some advice on the cheap angle grinder wood carving discs, they are relentless in the pursuit of your blood. Karsten's just come in. Good evening, Karsten.
Hey, Karsten.
And Mike from Dancers has said that he thinks Rutland's, which is a company over here, do a rebranded Bauer lathe over here. It looks identical apart from the color. Now, the thing is, I'm sure with a lot of the different layers that are out there, a lot of them are basically made in China and rebranded.
Oh, yeah.
Apart from the ones that you can guarantee that are made in country, the likes of, I think One Way is Canadian, isn't it?
Yes.
Robust is American, isn't it?
Yes. Well, yeah sort of.
Vic Mark is still Australian, I believe.
Yes.
I think Woodfast, which was another Australian brand, I think they are now made in China, because Woodfast now have the exact same layers as the Raycon 307040, the one with the sliding bed.
Yes, right.
I don't think we have any lathes now that are actually made within country in the UK. The Union Graduate used to be, Watkin used to be, but I don't think any are now.
Somebody told me that Axminster actually makes their own lathes.
I'm not too sure. The Axminster what they used to do was import certainly the cheaper lathes. They used to import them from China and then redo all the bearings and the motor with British bearings and British motor.
Okay.
But that's a hell of a lot of years ago. I'm talking about when they used to do that.
Right. Let's see.
Even the VB36 which was an absolutely brilliant British lathe, is now owned by Steinert in Germany.
Right. Now, did that start in Germany and then go to Britain and then back to Germany, or?
No. It was designed. It was designed and built in the UK.
Okay.
The VB stands for the two guys that designed and what the one the V stands for Voicey. I can't remember what the B stands for.
Yeah, I've heard all that. When first time I saw a VB36, I fell in love with the thing. Uh, they're fun to use, but you got to think about what you're doing, don't you?
Rob from Copperell has asked where Powermatics are made. I'm not too sure on the Powermatic, to tell you the truth.
Powermatic and Jet come out of the same plant. They used to be, I forget where they were originally, Taiwan. But I think they've all moved to China now. Oh, no
The
joy
quick
there.
search I did shows that they're still made in Taiwan.
Okay, all right. Those are both Powermatics Jets. They're both good lathes.
Maybe a manufacturer called G-Tech.
Yeah, G-Tech. G-Tech might do the
Jet,
right.
Grizzly.
Do they do the Raycon brand as well?
There's another one. What's the one I'm thinking of? Oh, Laguna. That's another offshore lathe. Their headquarters are in California.
Oh no, what about Harvey? Is Harvey US?
Harvey is a US, yes.
Now, Garver said he didn't want a new lathe, but the new Axminster one with a 1.5 horsepower motor and multiple locations for the bed extension might be the one. Other than the Vic Mark, that is. Yeah, I'd love a Vic Mark. I've got to agree with that.
Goodness gracious, I'm getting vibration.
That's because you've got a very small
Yeah.
stem at the bottom of
Yeah.
the
Back
vase.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure is. That's exactly right. Yeah, I should have drilled and hollowed before I finished that bottom end off. But like I said, I got ahead of myself. And what I could do, there, if I find my check key, which is right here.
Rob has said Oliver lathes. I'm not very sure where they're made. Are they American, Oliver?
Is Oliver still made?
I'm not very sure if they actually still make them, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I
Because
don't know.
The only Olivers I see tend to be old lathes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there they are. Now, this is against my better judgment.
Now
And I'll tell you why.
Roger said use a steady rest.
Steady rest might help.
Dewey, yeah, I think record power are Chinese. I think what they might do, I think this is very similar to what Axminster do, because I never see any copies of Axminster lathes, and I never see any copies of the record power. Certainly the newer record power ones. Is I think what they do, they'll actually give a design to a company in China and get them to do the design. Because certainly with the likes of the 406, which is the Axminster lathe I've got, and the 508, which is the Axminster lathe that Brian and Hartwood's got, I never see any others that look like them. And that's the same with the Herald and the bigger record ones as well. I never see any other lathes that look like them.
Even like Nova used to all be made in Australia, but they've
Yeah,
all been moved offshore to Asia. But supposedly, when they did that, Nova put quality control people in the plant, so they kept their quality up. Now, that has nothing to do with their customer service, unfortunately. I started to say a while ago, what is against my better judgment is using a Fostner bit after I've already drilled a hole. The reason for that is, as soon as I pull this out, I'll show you. Here we go. The reason I don't like that is because that point right there, that center point, that's what leads the bit into the wood. Without something for that point to be digging into, that bit can wander. We see it all the
that,
time.
that's strange you're saying that, Doug, because I see, and I've probably done it myself, that a lot of people, when they are drilling, they will go from a small Forstner bit to a bigger
Yep,
one, to a bigger one, to a bigger one.
yep,
And sometimes that center point doesn't actually hit before the drill starts turning, or
you're
starts
exactly right.
cutting, I should say.
Yeah, because you've already got that hole in the middle. So there's really nothing to start to guide that bit in. Where with a twist bit, like so, that you can start, you can do a smaller bit or a smaller drill and then come up with that larger and larger till you get the size you need. If you got them big enough, that's almost as big as I've got. So it's not as big as I've got, but as big as I can put in this drill.
So Dale
So
is saying, so the only lathes that are not going up in price in the USA will be robust, which are the most expensive. Yeah, you're probably right there, Dale.
that's probably the truth. At the same time, you'll still be cheaper on your pocketbook for the instantly, for the immediate purchase if you buy one of the others other than Robust. The Robust is very pricey. They're good lathes, but they are pricey. You can buy you can buy an inexpensive car for what a Robust lathe costs.
Todd brings up the point that Robust might use some foreign steel anyway, which might
Yes, yes,
Oh
they
cause
yeah,
it
do.
to
that
increase.
might bring up the price. Yeah.
They do. Um, Laguna, they're assembled in California, but they're assembled with foreign parts. So I don't know if they're going to be able to get away with that any longer or not. I was talking about all this with somebody just the other day, and it's really a matter of wait and see. I don't think I think all of our prices are going to go up worldwide on everything,
Oh,
and then they're
definitely,
going to. I
definitely.
think they're going to moderate back down after a while.
Yeah, but they'll still stay high.
I think you're right. Look at what gas has done. Gasoline has been stupid. We'll have as much as 50 cents a gallon swings over a day. You probably see that too, don't you, Todd? Big swings in gas.
Big swings in gas. My brother was just in South Texas last week, and of course I'm up here in Dallas, and there was a 40-cent difference in the price of gas from when he filled up in the morning down there and got up here to Dallas and topped his
Oh
tank
yeah,
off again.
yeah. That shouldn't be, but it is. It
Yep.
happens all the time.
Rob
All
from
right.
Copper Owl has said that Oliver lathes were made in Grand Rapids, Michigan, moved offshore in 2000. Not too sure where.
Yeah. They whole lot of them been in.
Dale has said the tariffs are going to be on parts not made in the USA. Also on the steel that's not from the USA as well, though.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just heard today that Kia is moving their steel production to Louisiana now, so that they can get out from under the tariffs.
Paul Hunter has said you can get a 25 millimeter. I think that must be a Fostner bit. Oh, it might be an ordinary bit with a reduced shank, and it's
Yes.
mainly used for pepper mills. And in the UK, it's sold by Procraft.
You surely can. In fact, you can get a whole set of larger drill bits. Oh, get that shield off my head because it's giving me a headache. But you can get a whole set of larger drill bits, twist bits, with a reduced size shank, and they do a marvelous job.
Yeah, Mike is saying he was watching somebody using a spade bit for hollowing last week. Looks
Ah, yeah,
very effective, but not sure it's safe. And I think that's the same with anything you use, Mike.
absolutely.
The safety aspect comes down to yourself.
Right. Spade bits are meant to be used slow, and again, they need to go into raw wood, not into a previously turned hole, because
Yeah.
it needs that center bit or center portion to lead the bit. That's what keeps it straight.
And
Now, Brian has said that this has just happened in the last couple of days. He said it's 104% tariffs for Chinese imports for the
Yep.
USA. That's certainly what the media are reporting, and I think
Well,
that's correct because China went ahead and did further tariffs on the USA,
right,
and then Trump has gone ahead and increased the tariffs on China.
right. That takes effect in a couple of weeks, I think it is. And there are
Okay.
some way I've been what I just saw earlier today. There are some steps that China can take to avoid it. He didn't just he arbitrarily raised it up, but with the raise, he said, here's the conditions to keep it off. You've got 2 weeks to comply, and if they don't comply, they'll go up. Like I said, things are going to go up worldwide. It's going to be tough for almost all
It
of us.
is. It is definitely.
It's already tough, but it's going to get tougher. That was a little abrasive paste, some Axe abrasive paste is what I use. Wayne, you still use Yorkshire, or are you
To
switching over to True Grit?
I've got 3 different makes now. I've still got loads of Yorkshire Grit. I've got True Grit from Dan at Taylor's Murfield, but I've also got some. I think he's called it Superior Grit, and that's
Okay.
from God, I forget his name. Woodsley Summercraft in Canada.
Yes, Woodsley Summercraft. Yeah, I was I was struggling with his name until you started it. Yeah.
Yeah, Ruby when Ruby was across in November, she brought some people some small pots of it's Rob Summerlin, that's who it is.
Yes. Yes.
She brought some small pots across for people to try out. We've got Frank Didom Izio in I'm sorry if I ruined your name there, Frank. He's watching. He's watching for a minute. Oh, it's Ruby. It's Ruby. She's watching on Frank's iPad.
Okay. Hey, Ruby.
Hi, Ruby.
Hope Frank's watching with you. Well, I know uh, we've had the discussion before, and we can just kind of bring others into it. Abrasive paste, you just kind of take your pick. Um, I was about to ask Glenn about working with him on this side of the pond, and when he announced he was getting out, and Tom at Axe and I kind of got connected about that same time, and we worked it out so that now I show Axe. So nothing against Yorkshire grit. I had a half a tub of Yorkshire grit when I got my first tub of Axe, and I used my Yorkshire grit up. And now I'm
Yeah,
sitting here with 2 or 3 tins of it now.
I've got to say it really doesn't matter which abrasive paste you use. They all tend to work the same.
Yes, they all do a
Now,
great job too.
Deal is put in. This is going back to the tariffs and how prices are going up and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that the whole point is to bring manufacturing back to the US? I think
Yes.
everybody can understand that.
Absolutely.
Speaking of bringing manufacturing back, like, I don't know, 6 years ago or something, I made like 2 quarts of my own abrasive paste using the diatomaceous earth or whatever it's called,
Yes. Right.
mineral oil and beeswax. And then I started getting some Yorkshire grit given to me. And I can tell a big difference between what I made and the Yorkshire grit because of the difference in the abrasive.
Yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, see, Glyn never used what was that with the
The
diatomaceous,
diatomaceous earth.
Yeah,
diatomaceous.
Glyn never used that. He used rotten stone.
Yeah,
Right.
there's a big difference there. So I've thought
There
about
really is.
reheating my stuff and mixing something else in, something else into it to give it a little more bite. Uh, but right now I pretty much use it to wax my lay, my ways on the lathe or the top of my drill press or table saw or
Mm,
something like
I
that.
mean, the amount
right.
the amount of research that Glyn did before he actually made the final product is untrue. I used to do a lot of stuff with Glyn, and he explained the process he went through, and it was loads and loads of research he did before he got to the final product.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Kind of
Frederick
like,
Day's just come in.
hey, Frederick. It's kind of like uh, Craig at Easy Wood Tools, the originator of Easy Wood Tools. He didn't just go out and grab any carbide bit and put it on a piece of stainless and say, "Here's the tool." He spent 4 or 5 years playing with different alloys of carbide and different manufacturers. The people that own it now are the original manufacturers of the carbide bits.
There's the carbides, yeah.
So yeah, it's quite interesting. Um, some people will put the research in, and then others come along behind them and copy it and say, "Oh, ours is just as good." Yeah, it's really not.
Well, and
Uh,
sometimes you see the end result and it just seems so straightforward and logical.
oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Because you get to see the end result of all the hard work,
Mm-hmm.
not the
Mm-hmm.
learning that went into it.
Right. That was one thing that I liked about Tom's product. I know he and Glenn did not they didn't see eye to eye. Uh,
Oh, that's
but
putting it mildly.
oh, you're exactly right. Um, but Tom did do some research. He didn't just throw together a product all of a sudden, and he spent some time with it. Probably not as long as Glenn. Glenn broke the ice.
Gav has said, have you ever tried using carbides like Glen Teagle does with the bevel? Easy Wood Tools were the first ones to bring that out. It was the negative rake cutters.
the negative rake, but then you also, where you can see it, there you can see it better. There's the cutter there. This is what Glenn talks about, using that bevel that's back here. I have
All
done
right.
that.
Okay.
I've done that, and it works a treat. I'm telling you, it works great. It's an advanced technique. Let me warn you, it's not.
Does
Glenn makes it look awfully easy.
yeah, Ronald G. Campbell does. I saw videos of a video of his
Mm-hmm.
a wee
Mm-hmm.
while back now where he does something similar as well.
Yes. Yeah, Ron Campbell makes his own brand. So anyway, let's see what we can
Now,
do about parting this
Fred has
off.
said that he's inlaid because he was setting up a new router, and I think somebody must have asked him what make. He's replying to Mike and said, "It's an internet router, not a woodworking one. Just up the speed a bit to accommodate YouTube videos." And Mike has said, "Lol, Frederick, I never knew Makita made internet routers." I found that funny. Sorry.
It is. This is amazing. It doesn't even like to part. All right. Before I go crazy, let me get my world famous stand parting tool.
Very similar to the one that Kid uses.
There we go. I thought it was interesting. I got on one of the maybe it's an Axminster demo that was online, and Ruby was there moderating, and she kind of stopped Theo in the middle of things. Doug, show him your thin parting tool. Theo had never seen such as that as for a parting tool, but he has one now. But there it is. Now let's see if it does what I wanted it to do. No, I've got it too far up. It should sit like that. So I'll have to sand. If I turn that sideways, you can see I've got it too steep here. I needed it to be more like that, and that's my fault. I just wasn't thinking about it. But that's the idea. I'll come back. I'll put that on the big sander and straighten that flat out. There we go. Oh, of course that one's locked up, but not for long. There we go. There we
There
go.
you go.
And I'll bring the guys in. Okay. So basically just a water jug, and the whole idea is to have it off kilter just a little bit. And I wasn't thinking. I just made that too steep. It needed to be at that angle
Right.
so that it would sit kind of like so instead of straight. So anyway, just something that it has no practical purpose whatsoever. It's just a curiosity. Set it on a shelf, let it sit there crooked, and somebody say, that pot's not sitting straight. You're exactly right. It's not. But anyway, holy cow, it shined up nice for
It did.
no more work than I did on it. That was sanded to as normal with abrasive paste, 240, and then the abrasive paste, and then nothing but carnauba wax. So there you have it, folks. There you have it.
Excellent. Right.
So
Do you want to highlight me so I can
hey,
show
yeah, 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 yeah.
so I can show Heather this piece of spalted beach?
Absolutely. There you are.
Oh, where are we? There you go, Heather.
Yeah. If they had another line or two in it, it might look good. That's a fabulous piece of wood. Absolutely fabulous.
There we go.
That's
Nice
the
piece
side
of
I like right there.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So this is basically it's just a small box blank, which will get turned at some point this year. But I think I've got about a ton of this stuff lying outside.
All right. So you're saying toward the end of May?
No, Chris has just asked there, did he miss some news? I was asking, can I come and help tidy your workshop? Yeah, bring about a dozen people. God, what was I going to say? Yes, Chris. I'm going to be doing a live. It's been just about a year since I last did a live. My last live was the 1st of May last year. So I thought a year. I can't do the 1st this year because it's a Thursday and Brian does a live on a Thursday. I can't do the 2nd because it's Friday and Steve does the live on a Friday. So it's either going to be Wednesday the 30th or Saturday the 3rd. Wednesday the 30th of April or Saturday the 3rd of May.
Okay, all right. That sounds excellent. I'm excited about it, and
And
if I could come help, I would.
what I'm planning on doing is I'll probably just use one blank for this. I'm just going to show a couple of different coloring techniques and texturing techniques.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun.
So that'll take about 20 minutes.
That includes turning a piece to color, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that means you got to get out and practice a little bit, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
Well,
That's half the fun.
Larry's just come in.
Hey, Larry.
His internet was acting up. Sorry, Larry, about that.
Well, there's what we did, Larry. It was supposed to be on a little bit of a tilt, but I got too much angle on my tilt section, so I gotta rework that. But it worked. It didn't go flying.
Yeah. And Martin Folger just come in as well.
Hey, Martin. Very good.
And
Very good.
Frederick Day has said he's also set up to go to the Wood Turning Weekender. He's getting a lift there. He's got a hotel room virtually next door and an evening meal. Very good, Fred.
Excellent. Excellent. That's the way to do it. Get those freebies when you can. They don't come along as often as they used to. All right. Well, as far as I know, let me just double check real fast, but I think, yeah, next week is tax day. I'm okay. My taxes are already in. The next week, the 22nd, is Earth Day. What better time to be in the shop than Earth Day? And the next week, the 29th, I got knitting. So we're good for the rest of this month anyway.
We'll just call the 29th Wayne Prep Day.
There you go. Wayne Prep Day. That'll work. That'll work. So anyway, I've got plenty of projects lined up.
I think I might have mentioned Heather instead of Haley. Can you highlight me again?
There you go.
There you go, Haley. I'll show the other end. The spalting looks better in the other end.
If that had any more spalting lines in it, I'm not sure you could see the wood. It's beautiful. Absolutely
that's
beautiful. All right. I can get spalted wood here pretty easily. Just leave it laying on the ground outside for a little while.
Yeah, that's what I do.
What I struggle finding is burls. I don't find burls here like I think I should. I know you go like to Washington State, Oregon, they're everywhere. But here you just don't see a whole lot. There's one here and there every once in a while, usually on a living tree. So I did go on vacation a couple years ago down South Georgia, and there was an oak tree.
Well, what about Todd down in Texas? Have you got
Just don't
many
have
trees down there, Todd?
So I have a great piece of oak burl that went dead on the front lawn of my uncle's house in Bartonville, Texas. And it was, I don't know, it's 24, 30 inches round.
Yeah.
20 feet. And they're just huge, like basketball size, like 8 of them, basketball size burls on the trunk of that tree that he cut for me, I think maybe last week. And so I need to go pick those up before he changes his mind.
Because certainly the way Jake is, I think Jake's in Amarillo, isn't he?
Yes.
Jake
Yeah,
Thompson.
Yeah. No
They've
trees.
got no trees.
No
it,
trees.
yeah, yeah, 0. Yeah.
I started to say a couple of years ago, Southeast Georgia. I was walking from our condo down to the beach, and there's these. Of course, that area of the world, it's if it's not a palm tree or a pine tree, it's oak tree, live oak. I'm going down, and I happen to look over in this little park in where all these live oak trees are, and there was a burl bigger than me, literally in every direction. It was massive. I bet that thing weighs 1,000 pounds, just the burl. If I were to cut it off the tree. Unfortunately, those trees are very well protected. So it'd have to be a handsaw, but there's so many people walking through there 24 hours a day, you can never get it done. Never, ever. So anyway, all I can do is dream. Anyway, it's been good. It's been a good day, and I hope maybe you saw something that helps you out or maybe encourages you. Just getting this news that end of this month, first of next month, Wayne will be back around. I'm excited about it. I'm real excited about it. Hope you are as well. Todd, you got anything coming up? Anything special?
No, I'll be on line tomorrow night with Worldwide Woodturners, hanging out with them. Hope people will stop by there.
Absolutely. Had a question today what time we started for those folks in the UK. And unfortunately, it starts at midnight UK time.
No, no,
And
no. The chat usually starts about 11:15.
yeah, the chat does. The
Yeah,
actual meeting starts at 7.
yeah. The chat
You're
starts
exactly
about
right.
11:15. Depending on where the demonstrator comes from, that can
Yes.
either start at 12 midnight or 1 a.m.
Yes. Yes. So, yes, it's a little late for you guys, but it's worth the time, I think, especially, like Wayne comes in quite often and he's there until, for the first hour, hour and a half. And then it's night time, and I
Yep.
understand that. I think everybody else understands as well. So you're free to come and go as you please, whether you're in the UK, the US, Australia, wherever you may
And
find yourself.
and to go with what Wayne was saying, because it's worldwide, when those demonstrators aren't from the U.S. and they're somewhere else, we're pretty casual about that start time of the demo.
Hmm.
If there's normally basically a 3-hour time period for the meeting where there's about an hour of show and tell gallery stuff, and then an hour of demo, and then an hour more of gallery show and tell discussion. And sometimes that demo will go earlier into it or a little later into it
Yeah.
to
And
support
and
those.
and usually what happens is that it gets put up on YouTube. It's on a Wednesday. The meeting's on a Wednesday afternoon, evening, if you like. But it usually goes out on YouTube the following weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. There for a while, it was getting later and later till it was like Tuesday before it went up. But now he's being real conscious about trying to get it up Saturday, if not Sunday morning, as early as possible. So, yeah, real convenient. A
And it
great.
is. I mean, they put the full meeting up, but seeing as how it's a video going on YouTube, you can fast forward to the bits that you want to watch.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the best part is it's free. Everything else is going up. Worldwide Woodturners is free, and
Yeah.
so you get a quality demonstration. You get a lot of ideas, a lot of good turning discussion, all for free. You don't see that very often, but we provide that. So anyway, it's been a good day. I'm going to play with this idea a little more. Hopefully, I'll get this on the socials here before too long. And folks, have a great day. It's been a good time, and I hope you have had a good time as well. So with that, we'll say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Well, I know I clicked that button. There we go.